Hey everybody, it's Sue Singleton with Carolina Coast Homes Real Estate here in beautiful Southeastern North Carolina. I want to turn my camera around just a little bit. Let's see if you can see out the window there, if the camera adjusts so that you can see that, yes, we do have snow on the ground. It has melted a right good bit today, which I'm very thankful for. But yes, we do have snow on the ground. So that's something that I did want to discuss with you today, because guess what? We do get snow here in Southeastern North Carolina, here in Brunswick County, over into New Hanover County. New Hanover County had snow as well, even over into North Myrtle Beach and the Myrtle Beach areas over in South Carolina. They had snow as well. So yes, we do get snows here. They're not frequent. I think the last big one that we had that may have been similar to this one, although I do think the one before this one was actually a little bit heavier snow than what this one was. But that was back in 2018. So it's been around 7 years since we've had a pretty big snow. And although it's nice to see, most of us here that live in Southeastern North Carolina, we're really not interested in the snowy weather. We get a lot of snowbirds that come down for the wintertime here that live up north, who come here during the wintertime because the weather is so much milder. But every now and then, we do get a snowstorm. And that's what we've had this particular week in January. But it is warming up. Today's high was around 47. So that's not too bad. And it's continually supposed to warm up every day until even like by Wednesday of this coming week, it's going to be around 60 degrees. So yeah, it doesn't hang around long. And we're very grateful and thankful for that. We don't like the snow that comes and lingers around for too long. So I did want to talk to you about that. I also wanted to talk to you something about HOAs, because I get a lot of questions with HOAs, whether it's a buyer or a seller. Sometimes, especially when I'm representing a seller, we have to talk about HOAs, whether they're in compliance, whether there's any special assessments. And one of the things that I have found here in our particular area is that we do get a lot of people that come here that are full-time residents, and they really like the HOA communities that we have. And we have a lot of HOA communities all the way from Wilmington all the way down to South Carolina. So we have a lot of HOA communities. The thing is that sometimes when people come here, that they may not be familiar with how the HOAs work here, what the HOA rules are, and what that entails. So if you're buying a property here in Southeastern North Carolina, have that conversation with your real estate agent about the HOA that you may be looking at and what they may require of their owners who live there. Ask the questions. If there's things that you're want to particularly look at, maybe you want to have a storage building in back, maybe you want to have a pool put in, maybe you want to have a hot tub put in, maybe you want to have a fence put in on the property. In HOA communities, those are important things to know before you actually go into the HOA communities. So if you're looking at an HOA community and you're really serious about that community, hopefully your agent's already given you that HOA documents for you to review. But if not, please make sure that you ask for them, because that can help alleviate problems down the road, especially if you're interested in adding to the property, changing the properties, putting a fence on, all those kind of things, because most HOAs do have, some of them call on compliance committees. Some of them, it may all be done through the art committee. But that they do have folks that work on their board who do make sure that the property owners are complying with the HOA rules and regulations and restrictions that they have set out. And trust me, if you're doing something that isn't in compliance with the HOA, they can really charge you some really stiff fines during the period of time where you are in non-compliance with the HOA rules and regulations. So it's really important to make sure you have that conversation with your real estate agent regarding any HOA communities. And even if you're not in an HOA community, let's just say, for instance, that you're going over to Oak Island or Southport, Holden Beach, Ocean Isle Beach, Sunset Beach, even Charlotte, any of the communities and towns that are around, that maybe the property you're looking at isn't in what we would consider an HOA subdivision, but there could be local rules and regulations that may prevent you from perhaps putting a storage building on your property, or the type of fence that you can put on your property and where the fence has to be located at. So there's all types of rules and regulations that you do need to be aware of, whether you're in a HOA subdivision, and even if you're in one of those other particular localities where there may be certain types of regulations that are enforced. I know, for example, we'll just take Oak Island because I helped somebody with this just a couple of weeks ago. They had purchased a property, and before they purchased the property, I actually got them the fence application for the property so they could see what they were going to need to submit to the town in order to get the fence approved, or if they were even going to need to get the fence approved. And so I printed out the information and gave it to them so that the type of fence that they wanted to put on the property and where they wanted the fence located at, yes, that particular fence was going to have to be approved by the town just because of the location of where they wanted to put the fence. So even the towns have different rules and regulations regarding pools and fences and storage buildings, back buildings, those type of things. So it's real important that you have that conversation with your real estate agent. All righty, well, I am going to sign off. Again, I'm just going to see if you can see through my window there. The snow on the ground, even though we've got snow on the ground here in Southeastern North Carolina, it is still beautiful here. It's one of my favorite places. It's always been one of my favorite places. And if you haven't checked us out yet, make sure you stop by and see us real soon. All right, take care, and we'll talk to you again next time. Bye for now.